up, guys? Dustin from MyFreedomSmokes here to talk to you about a basic do-it-yourself juice mixing tutorial. Here we have everything you're going to need for a basic juice making kit, plus way more. Let's get into it. Here we have our nicotine. It's not freebase nicotine, it's diluted nicotine. I made 100 milligrams in a 125 bottle, a 125 milliliter bottle with a VG base. This is a thicker nicotine. This is what I usually work with because I'm big into the cloud chasing. So let's break bad on this.
What we're gonna do today is make a basic juice. I'm gonna be working with this blueberry and this watermelon flavoring. I just picked these at random. I've never used these two in combination before. It's just a simple, I just figured, you know, fruit flavors might go well together. That's basically how I make my juices. I just get an idea, you know, think of a recipe of something and just think like, wow, okay, apple pie, what's in an apple pie? And you just start looking at flavor listings and just, you know, make a combination. You know, you'd think if you wanted to make a cheesecake, you would throw a cheesecake flavoring with, you know, graham cracker flavoring or something like that and throw on a topping. Not always that simple, because you might mix cheesecake flavoring with graham cracker flavoring and it might just come out tasting like graham cracker, or it might come out tasting like swamp water. You never know when you come with mixing this, because they're not foods, they're flavorings. So what I'm gonna do today is make a 20-80 PG-VG ratio juice, and I'm not going to be adding any PG or propylene glycol. I'm gonna be working with a vegetable glycerin VG base, and these two flavorings, which are PG base. It is flavoring suspended in propylene glycol. So instead of adding, you know, any other base, I'm just gonna be using this to make, you know, the ratio. And I'm speaking in percentages because it's easier, because your bottle size that you're gonna be making your juice in isn't always gonna be the same. So if you had a 30 milliliter bottle and you wanted to put 10% of a flavoring in there, it would be 3 milliliters of the flavoring, for a total of 6 milliliters of flavoring in that 30 milliliter bottle. When it comes to nicotine, it's still on a percentage base. I'm working with 100 milligram nicotine suspended in vegetable glycerin. So just, guys, please be careful. The suit isn't necessary when you're making your juice, but please, I can't stress enough, and I'll say it 30, 40, 50 times in these videos if I have to, that you need to be wearing gloves when you're making juice. Anything over 48 milligrams of nicotine can kill you if you're careless or you're not paying attention. Just be smart, guys. I mean, this stuff's supposed to be saving you from cigarettes, not killing you in the process of making it. So let's get started. What we're going to be using today is a syringe to measure out our flavoring. Usually, you know, flavoring stains and contaminates the syringe, so I do not ever use the same syringe for multiple flavorings, but today I might do that carelessly because it's my juice and I do not care what gets contaminated. But make sure that, you know, if you're doing separate juices, if you have a menthol, don't put the menthol in here and then, you know, take it and dip it in a chocolate flavoring and make a chocolate juice, because you're gonna have a chocolate menthol juice, and that's gonna be pretty disgusting. Unless you're into that, then, you know, by all means, make a chocolate menthol juice. So let's do this. Crack the seal on this bad boy, on the blueberry. Crack the seal on the watermelon. It's one of my favorite flavors is watermelon. These. Okay. On the syringe, it's going to come with this regular medical, I guess, you know, hollow point needle. That's trash. I do not like using these making juice. I like to use the blunt tip syringe. 3 millimeter blunt tip syringe. So like I said, I'm going to be making this in a, you know, I think this is a 15 milliliter bottle. So let's cut back in half what I said earlier about making 6 milliliters. Let's do 3 milliliters, so a milliliter and a half of each flavor. Get in there, easier if you tilt it. Get that out. Milliliter and a half. Not easy with gloves, but deal with it. Wear gloves. Smells so good. That is 1.5 milliliters of flavoring. We're going to do the exact same thing with this other flavoring. Like I said, change your syringes. Unless you're doing a video for YouTube, don't use the same syringe. Okay. Bam. So this is the combination. This is 20% flavoring in here. So this would be, if I add VG and I filled this up to the top, it would be 2080. But we're going to be adding nicotine. So got my nicotine syringe that I'm going to be using. Once I'm done with it, I'm going to scrap it, throw it away. I mean, just get rid of the hassle, get rid of the headache. The target is a 15 milliliter bottle. I'm using 100 milligram nicotine. So to get a target of 3 milligrams in this 15 milliliter bottle, I'm going to need 0.45 milliliters or half a milliliter of 100 milligram nicotine. So being very careful, what I'm going to do is take the syringe. When you're dealing with fractions of a milliliter, it's always best to use a smaller syringe. Note to self. So that is about half a milliliter. This bad boy in there. Bam. Okay. All right. So it has half a milliliter of 100 milligram base nicotine, 3 milliliters of flavoring, and I am going to top it off with vegetable glycerin. Cap it. And here we go. We have a 2080 blueberry watermelon e-liquid at 3 milligrams of nicotine. Shake it up very nice, because if you just drop that nicotine in there and it's floating on the top and you go to drip, the first thing that's going to come out is probably most of the nicotine, and you might drip half that milliliter of the base onto your coils, and you're dripping 100 milliliters or 100 milligrams. So yeah, make sure you shake this up, get it nice diluted. There we go. Let's try it out. Here goes nothing. Like I said, don't hold me to it. I made up these flavorings, and I have never tried this before. So nice and thick. That's what I was looking for. Oof. Might have over dripped. All right, here goes nothing. Let's try this. Not bad. That's pretty refreshing. It's a heavy watermelon with the blueberries not as strong. It's notes of blueberry. I recommend that. So 10% watermelon, 10% blueberry. I used 100 milligrams nicotine, 0.45 milliliters in a 15 milliliter bottle, and I made 3 milligrams, and I'd say this is a pretty good juice. I might actually finish this bottle today. So, as always, this is Dustin from MyFreedomSmokes. If you have any questions, comments, you want to make fun of my suit or something like that, don't be afraid to shoot us an email or leave a comment below.